have we next? Deputy Boyd Barrett, please.
Thanks, Cian Corla. And let me say at the outset that I just want to thank former Judge Bernard Barton for giving me a briefing on this issue some time ago, and for I want to apologise, and he's probably watching, that I haven't been able to get back to him in the last 2 days. I've been a bit manic in advance of this debate, but that I'm very cognizant of his strong views on this, and I agree with them on this bill, and indeed the concerns that the Irish Council of Civil Liberties and others have put forward about this bill. I don't claim to be a legal expert, but in a way that's the point, because the legal system and the jury system is precisely about a law, if you like, and justice being accessible to ordinary people, and not just being the property of legal experts, and in this case a judge replacing a jury of your peers, and the right to be judged by a jury of your peers as to whether your good name has been defamed. And I think the attempt to remove the right to jury in High Court cases concerning people's right to protect their good name against defamation really strikes at the heart of democracy. And to me, the right to a jury, I mean, it's something that's in our Constitution, to protect all sorts of rights that you have, and the right for those rights to be kind of judged by a jury is absolutely critical to our entire democracy and to the possibility of getting the best justice. I mean, no system is perfect, but I don't really see how, when you're talking about people's character being defamed, and it can, you know, have absolutely devastating consequences for somebody to be defamed, to be wronged in that sort of public way, I don't see how anybody could really argue that a single judge, who with the best will in the world is just one person, who may have their own prejudices, who may be very limited in, if you like, their ability to appreciate what defamation might do to somebody, how could that possibly be superior to a jury of 12 people who are randomly selected to represent the community and society? Because, of course, defamation is precisely about, among other things, how you are perceived by society. So you're replacing that representative sample of society with a single individual who tend to be, and I'm not trying to malign judges in any way, but tend to be from a certain class in society, appointed by the political system. So inevitably there are limits to, if you like, their ability to fully appreciate how things might be perceived or understood across a society that is much more diverse. So to me, the idea of a jury which is genuinely representative of society, of different genders, of different class backgrounds, of different religious beliefs or no religious beliefs, that is at least closer to the possibility of having a real appreciation of whether you are being defamed and what the potential impacts of that might be, and where if they find that you have been defamed, that your good name has been taken, to decide what recompense you deserve, right? What is required to give you justice when your good name has been taken. So to me, it goes to the very heart of, you know, a decent justice system, to democracy, because that kind of jury system is a central part of what democracy is about, and to remove the right to jury in those cases, which can have such huge impacts for individuals, for people, is a very, very retrograde step, and we shouldn't do it. Now, I understand, of course, that there is something about freedom of speech which is very, very important. I understand that a free media and their right to criticise people, to question people, to investigate the wrongdoings of people, that is also very important and precious. And we also have to protect that. But if you think about the media, I think we all know there are degrees of responsibility when it comes to the media. And then we have certain social media companies who would say anything about anybody and allow anything to be said about anybody, even if it hadn't got the remotest connection to the truth. They just don't care. If a lie will get lots of clicks, they're willing to publish the lie. And people, more than ever, are vulnerable to that kind of defamation now, about their character, about their actions. Lies, unfortunately, are rampant, and there are certain people who make money out of sensational lies, who have no desire, in fact they see it as striking at their ability to make extortionate amount of money if there's any restrictions on their ability to slander people and to defame people. They don't care about that, so the people need protection. So yes, we've got to protect freedom of speech. We've got to ensure that people with lots of money can't just use their access to lots of money to protect themselves from serious questioning and serious public interrogation, or people who might want to expose stuff in the public interest that is real and important information or questions. And it is a difficult balance to get. But even in that case, I don't possibly see how getting rid of juries helps deal with a difficult balance. Because you're replacing questions where it is a difficult balance, or there might be a very serious contention of the issues in some of these cases. You're replacing the decision to try and unravel all that and come to a fair and just adjudication of the arguments that might be made, or the case, or the facts of a case. You're replacing a cross-section, a representative cross-section of society with one individual, who with the best will in the world, to repeat, tend to come from certain sections of our society, tend to be from better off sections of our society, tend to come from a particular educational background, and may have, and I'm not, by the way, painting judges or the legal profession with all the same brush. There's a variety of legal perspectives from people who work in the legal profession, but I don't believe anybody is completely free from certain degree of prejudice. Right? Nobody, no matter how much we assert the independence of the judiciary, that people aren't some way influenced by their own prejudices and their own life experience, and therefore a jury gives you some prospect of balancing out the different prejudices and perspectives and worldviews and life experiences in trying to adjudicate on this very, very difficult area of people's good name being taken, but also balancing out that against the right of people to have freedom of speech, freedom of expression, freedom of press, and so on. So that's my main argument, and it is why, unless the government get rid of this element of the legislation, I will definitely be voting against it, and I will be supporting those who are campaigning against getting rid of juries in these cases. I think juries are just too fundamental to democracy, and there's a slippery slope potential as well. Once you start to do it in this case, will there be other cases made then to get rid of the right to a jury trial in other circumstances? Last few points, which have probably been made by other speakers. I didn't unfortunately get the chance to hear everybody else's contributions, but certainly it is asserted by those who've looked closely and are more expert than me in this that any suggestion this is going to save time or money is erroneous, because actually, while a jury trial might be a little bit more effort and time and so on, and cost may go into having a jury trial, it's much more difficult to overturn a jury decision, whereas if it's just a judge making the decision, it's much easier to appeal that, and therefore what you gain on the swings, you lose on the roundabouts, or vice versa, if you know what I mean. So there's no reason to believe there will be any particular saving in terms of time or costs by doing this. Also that this, the right to a jury trial is, you know, is one of the oldest components of common law, of the entire legal system, is that idea of a jury trial. So we're really striking at the very foundations of what is considered to be a crucial part of a good justice system, going right back to the beginning of justice systems. And I think we would do that at our peril. I also think that we should be concerned that certain corporate interests will be very glad if this goes through. And I think that should give us pause for thought. Social media companies and so on will be delighted if this goes through, and I think that should give us pause for thought as to what is being proposed by the government here, and for all those reasons we will be opposing this bill unless that central element of it is removed.
Thank you, Deputy Boyd Barrett.